Today we're going underground. We're going to uncover a story that's happening right under your feet. A story that just might explain some of the most frustrating, head-scratching mysteries inside your own home.
You know what I'm talking about, right? That weird gurgle the toilet makes, the sink that takes forever to drain, or that soggy patch in the yard that never seems to dry up. You might think, oh, it's just a clog. But the real cause is often so much bigger and honestly, way more interesting.
That's right. The real root of your plumbing problems often has everything to do with where you live, the dirt, the weather, even the history of your town. See, your home's plumbing is in this constant, invisible battle with the world around it.
Okay, so let's get into it. How deep does this connection really go? We're about to explore these hidden forces that are silently messing with your pipes and drains. And it all starts with understanding your own backyard, literally. And this, right here, is the key. Every single city has its own unique fingerprint, a mix of geology, what's growing there, and its history. All of this creates a very specific set of challenges for the pipes buried underground. It's a huge deal, not just for you, but for the cities themselves. So to really see how this all plays out, we're going to zoom in on one city, Nashville. Its unique environment makes it the perfect place to see these hidden forces in action. All right, let's put on our detective hats. Nashville is more than just Music City. It's a city with a very specific set of environmental and historical quirks that put a ton of stress on its plumbing systems, from the oldest neighborhoods to the brand new suburbs. We're going to focus on four main things here. Think of these as our primary suspects behind the city's biggest plumbing headaches: the ground itself, the beautiful trees, the old pipes, and of course, the weather. Okay, time for the lineup. To really get what's going on, we need to meet these four culprits one by one. And yeah, we're calling them culprits, because each one attacks your home's plumbing in its own special way. First up, the ground itself. Nashville is built on a bed of clay soil. So, when it rains, that clay swells up like a sponge, and when it's dry, it shrinks and cracks. Imagine that happening over and over. It's like a slow-motion vice grip on your pipes, bending and twisting them until they eventually shift, crack, or just plain break. Now, this next one is kind of ironic. It's something Nashville is famous for. All those gorgeous, mature trees. Well, those big oaks and maples have massive root systems, and they're always on the hunt for water. And guess what's a fantastic source of water? Your sewer line. The roots find one tiny little crack, force their way in, and then just explode into these dense clogs that can stop your drainage cold. Our third culprit is really a ghost from the past. A lot of homes, especially in historic areas like East Nashville, that were built before 1980, have old cast iron drain pipes. After decades in the ground, made worse by Nashville's humidity, they basically rot from the inside out. They get all rough and brittle, and eventually they can just collapse. It's a ticking time bomb under your yard. And finally, you've got the climate. The humid summers make things corrode faster. The wild winter freezes can burst pipes. And the water itself, which is full of minerals, builds up inside everything, shortening the life of your appliances and fixtures. It's just a perfect storm of stress that wears everything down much faster than it should. Okay, so we've met the bad guys, but how do you actually spot their handiwork in your own house? Well, now we're going to connect the dots. We're going to decode those frustrating signals we talked about at the beginning and trace them right back to their hidden source. This is where it all clicks. Hear that gurgling noise when you flush the toilet? That's probably air struggling to get past a massive root ball in your sewer line. See rusty or discolored water? That's a huge sign that your old iron pipes are falling apart inside. And that mysterious wet spot in the yard? The squeezing clay probably finally cracked a pipe. It all connects.
Look, knowing what you're up against is a huge part of the battle. But these forces don't quit, so what do you do about it? Well, the good news is modern plumbing has come up with some pretty cool ways to fight back against these exact kinds of regional problems.
Let's just take drain cleaning, for example. The old school way is snaking, where a metal cable is basically just jammed down the pipe to poke a hole in the clog. It's a temporary fix at best. But a modern method, like hydrojetting, uses super high-pressure water to literally scour the inside of the pipe clean. It blasts away roots, grease, everything. It's the difference between a Band-Aid and actual surgery. So this all leads to a much smarter, more transparent way of doing things. It starts with assessing the real problem. A pro will send a special camera down the line so you can see with your own eyes what's going on. No more guesswork. Then you approve the fix.
You see the video, you get clear options with upfront pricing so you're in complete control. Finally, they address the problem with the right tool for that specific job, whether it's hydrojetting or something else entirely.
So, when you pull all these pieces together, what does it all really mean? Let's zoom back out for a second. We used Nashville as our example, but you know what? This same principle applies absolutely everywhere. It's time to start listening to your home's hidden story.
Here's the big takeaway. Those little plumbing annoyances, they're not just random failures. They're signals. They're clues in a much bigger story about your home and its unique place in the world. Its soil, its age, its weather. And once you learn how to read those signals, you become a much smarter homeowner.
So the next time you hear a weird noise from your pipes or a drain moves a little slow, don't just get annoyed. Pause for a second and see it as a message. And ask yourself, what story is my home trying to tell me right now?